While lawmakers in Washington continue to stare down sequestration beginning on March 1st, Oklahoma legislators continue to burn through bills in committee. Shawn Ashley of eCapitol has been following the work of those committees at the Capitol. Shawn, this was a hectic week at the Capitol, and a key proposal from Governor Fallon's State of the State address was shot down.
That's exactly right. The governor proposed in her State of the State address that local municipalities be given the right to set their own smoking ordinances. This is something that the health community has been pushing for a number of years. It's been at the top of their legislative agenda. However, in the Senate General Government Committee, that bill was taken up and it failed on a 2-6 vote. The opponents of the measure said it could create a number of problems, particularly in metro areas, where you might have a restaurant on one side of the street that could allow smoking and a restaurant on the other side of the street that would not be able to do so because it was in a different municipality and there were different ordinances involved. In response to this, the governor has joined with the health community, and it appears they're going to be pushing an initiative petition. Now, we don't know exactly what that referendum will be, whether it will be to allow municipalities to set their own regulations or something else. They haven't decided yet. But it was a big press conference, more than 100 supporters of the governor there and of improved smoking regulations, and we'll just have to watch and see what happens.
The governor approves of a workers' comp bill that's moving forward.
That's right. Finally, we saw the first administrative system for the workers' compensation system proposed. Senator Brian Bingman, the president pro tem of the Senate, offered the bill. And what it does is get rid of the current judicial system. It creates a workers' compensation commission, which would appoint a panel of administrative law judges to hear disputes involving workers' compensation cases.
Could state troopers and prison workers be getting a raise?
That is a big question now. A bill was approved yesterday in an Appropriations and Budget Subcommittee on the House side that would give starting troopers about a $5,000 a year annual raise and would also increase the hourly rate for correctional officers. Now, it just was approved in a subcommittee. It still has to go through the House Appropriations and Budget Committee this week, then the House floor, and of course start the whole process over in the Senate. I think it faces a tough road. Despite the fact that we do have more money this year to spend, everybody's talking like, once again, it's going to be a tight budget year, and there seems to be some reluctance to look at pay raises.
A measure has advanced that would require people under some circumstances to submit a DNA sample. Tell us about that.
Yes, this is one of those proposals that's been battered around at the Capitol for a number of years now, and it looks like it's finally moving towards perhaps being passed. This one by Senator Clark Jolly from Edmond would allow those who are arrested for certain violent crimes to have DNA samples taken. This was heard in the Senate Public Safety Committee on Thursday. He said by doing so, we would increase the likelihood of solving other crimes and address a number of issues along the way. The key element of this one is that it has a fairly narrow focus. And what it does is, rather than someone who has been convicted of a crime, it's those individuals who have been arrested. And that has often been a tough barrier to overcome.
And there are bills that would limit the reach of the Affordable Care Act.
That's exactly right. As you may recall, back in 2010, voters approved a state question limiting the impact of the Affordable Care Act in Oklahoma. What this bill does is further limit that act and essentially imposes some penalties on anyone involved in enforcing the act in Oklahoma.
Shawn Ashley from eCapitol, thank you.
Very glad to be here.